Finding the right area to invest in has always been a challenge for property investors. Previously, AIRDNA has been the only real software to help find where the best holiday let areas are. But recently, PriceLabs released a brand new feature that I'm really excited to share with you today. We were very, very lucky that Sianna from PriceLabs was able to join us again and demo this brand new software that has amazing data that I think could be a real competitor to AIRDNA. So watch this video, learn more, and hopefully, if this is of value to you, please don't forget to like and subscribe.
What we'll be talking about today is the new Revenue Estimator Pro that went live a few weeks ago. Revenue Estimator Pro is basically designed to estimate sort of potential income that a property might generate for you in a certain area. There are a few sort of, if we had to summarize it in 4 points, first point would be that you get sort of accurate revenue estimates that are quick to get from the system for any address that you may be looking for. So you don't have to have a listing in this area. You don't have to live in this area. As soon as you input an address based on Airbnb data and our sort of data source, our PriceLabs data source, we will filter through the information and come up with the results. You can then further fine-tune estimates. You can sort of filter very specific comp sets to fit exactly what you're looking for. And there are currently around 20 plus filters that we use, but I'll tell you guys at the moment we're working on adding some more because as we have people using this tool and we're receiving more feedback, you know, some things like, I don't know, oceanfront balcony are not very in line with what someone in the mountain might be looking for. So we're just looking at adding more and more filters at the moment to suit what everyone is sort of looking for. You can then create as many estimates as you want and access them all in one place. And you also have the ability to share these estimates with clients by creating PDF reports or exporting them as CSV files. And you can, export them and then create your own presentation. So how do we access Revenue Estimator Pro? Well, we all know that this is the pricing dashboard page at PriceLabs. So we don't really want to use this dynamic pricing area. We actually want to go into a separate part of PriceLabs platform, and this is the market research area. So we want to click on market research and select Revenue Estimator Pro. So you can see it says new on here. I've already created 2, but anyone who has imported a listing into PriceLabs will have 2 free tokens. So if you've imported a listing in PriceLabs, you'll see that you already have 2 free tokens. It will be displayed here. Otherwise, you can actually subscribe to the Revenue Estimator Pro, but you can subscribe to a plan, and basically there's 3 different plans at the moment. We're doing for 2 estimates every month, it's $10 per month. For 15 estimates per month, it's $45 per month. And for 50 estimates every month, it's $125 per month. So you can actually manage your subscription from here. We also have yearly plans in case you're interested in this. We have to now sort of think about, imagine you guys won't have this. What you would want to do here is actually create a new estimate by clicking on this button here. Of course, if I'm creating an estimate, I would already have an idea of where I want to potentially manage a property, purchase a property, and see how much it would, generate for me. Let's say I'm going to give this, I've got this address here, so I'm just going to type it in. Let's say Kensington, London. Let's think of an address. So we're going to do 24 Queensgate Gardens as an example. I'm going to type in London, postcode. And here it's asking me for country. So we've entered in our address. And now we have to specify the bedroom category that this property that we're looking to get an estimate for has. So let's say that my property here that I'm looking at has 2 bedrooms. So I just need to input bedrooms in here. And then I have to select also the currency. So all of these fields are mandatory because without them, we're not able to gather the required information, right? So my currency here will be in GBP. Here it is. I'm just going to select this and click on continue. Now, once you click continue, PriceLabs is going to sort of ask you to verify your location. It gives you the address, everything that you've selected. It tells you exactly how many listings in the location we found that match your search criteria. And of course, you're going to be able to see this little pin on the map. If you're happy with it, you can click on Create Estimate. If you're not happy with these details, you can go back and change them. Please just be aware that if you do click on Create Estimate, you're not able to change any of these details here. So just make sure that your currency and your address and the bedroom size count are all correct. Now, I'm happy with this. You can even zoom in just to double check. So I'm going to create my estimate and wait for PriceLabs to load all the information. Just to let you guys know that the estimate, once it's created, it doesn't get refreshed. So you might have used sort of market dashboards before. You may have maybe utilized some of that market information from our other product market dashboards. That is something that actually does get refreshed. But Revenue Estimator Pro, as soon as you create an estimate, it doesn't refresh that information, right? So it creates the estimate once. And if maybe in a month's time you go back in and you want to see if anything has changed, you have to create a new one because it's not going to refresh the data. You can view it, but it's just going to be whatever was created a month ago. So we tried to use around 350 active listings in a maximum of 15-kilometer radius, which means that, you know, if you're in a more remote area, we will extend closer towards the 15 kilometers. But if you're in a highly populated with short-term rentals area, then that sort of will be, the radius will be a little bit lower or smaller. Cool. Okay. So this is what is happening now. So you can see now I've created my estimate, and what we are seeing at the moment is that we have information on average daily rate, revenue, and adjusted occupancy. And average daily rate and revenue here are split between the 25th, 50th, and the 75th percentile of the market, right? So 25th percentile means that 25% of listings will be lower priced than this. 50th means 50% will be lower. And of course, 75th is the 75% of the listings will be lower than this. When we sort of look at that information, the estimated annual revenue is taken from the top and the bottom numbers that we're getting. And you'll be able to see here that we've sort of estimated a middle figure based on however many listings we found in that comp set, right? So anytime you want to see exactly how it's made up, you can absolutely go into the information buttons just to find out how is everything worked out. Of course, we have a red warning sign that please note that earnings can go below lower range if the property is not performing well. So just to clarify, this is an estimate. It's not a projection. So estimates takes into account all of this data that we're gathering, and the data is accurate, but a projection is something that you sort of take into consideration a lot of different market factors, like how is the economy doing? You know, there's so many things that actually go into creating a projection that are not maybe even short-term rental data related. So this is an estimate that takes into consideration actual historical and forward-looking data that we're seeing for the market to create an estimate for you to know what you can expect for that certain area. Now, we've obviously here, I've selected 2-bedroom properties, and it's looking at all of these 398 listings in my comp set. But what I can also do is really filter through and refine this comp set. So you can see here in the top right corner, we have a button which allows us to do exactly this and to be very specific with what exactly we're looking at. This, for those of you who have used market dashboards, it might look a little bit familiar. So what we're seeing here is a map of the area that I've selected. This is my listing. Well, not my listing, but this is my address. And we can see all of the listings that we're taking into consideration around my address. The table is all of these listings. So the table includes all of the listings that we are seeing on here. So we can, of course, navigate through, but in highly populated areas, that's probably not a super easy thing to do. So the best thing would be really to use the advanced filters to really refine our comp set here that we want to look at. Let's click on. So before I just go on to advanced filters, I just want to show you guys, you can add different things to this column, right? So we've included if you scroll to the right, you can see we've sort of included revenue, active days for this listing, bathrooms, like, are they using dynamic pricing? Is it professionally managed? What is the minimum stay that we're seeing? So all of these different metrics we're including here that we've picked up for these listings. But if there's anything you want to remove or add, you can do it from this column visibility area on here. So there's other different things that you can add to your view. So the advanced filters, here we can see, well, you can really filter through exactly what you're looking for. So I can select, for example, so basic room details, how many bathrooms, let's say I want 2 bathrooms. As I start to filter through these things, my comp set starts to get more refined. And of course, I'll start to see that I have less and less listings that we're comparing against. So I might say maximum guests here is 5. Review score, I might only want to look at anything with above 4.47. I might only want to view listings with over 80 reviews. Here you can select sort of listed price, minimum stay restrictions, how many nights have they been active for. All of these things you can sort of filter through, right? And here you can select different amenities. So at the moment, this is what we're including by default, but we are working to include more of these based on feedback that we've received. So stay tuned. If we do have updates, we will share them. But as you sort of use Revenue Estimator Pro, I think in the next few weeks, you might find that we have some updates to this section here. So if I click beachfront, it's not going to be very relevant to me in London, but we will have some others coming in. So here I can select, for example, smoking, no, pets, yes. Okay. You can say, oh, I want to only sort of compare with someone who is kind of using dynamic pricing. So you can select it from here. Are they professionally managed? Like what size is the property manager? Let's say moderate here. And you can select the radius that we're looking at. Let's say you're happy with all of these settings. Well, unfortunately, I have 0 listings matching this exact criteria. So you can see that the more and more and more sort of you refine it, you might not have exactly the set of listings that you're looking at. So I would advise to sort of be a little bit more conservative with what you're after and allow for a bigger pool. See, as soon as I remove these things, you can see that I already have a few listings that match my criteria, right? So do pay attention to this and really decide what is important for you to get an accurate representation of the estimate that you're looking to get, essentially. Once you've applied your filters, what you need to do here is just click on Apply Filter. And all of the listings that we found, you can see before we had 40 pages. Now all of your listings will be on here. Right? If you want to change anything, you can always clear the filter and just reload everything. There's one more thing that you can do, by the way. This is very similar to market dashboards. Again, if you've used them, you can use these top section of the table here to filter through data. So you can say, for example, I want to look at properties that are listed only, I don't know, over 600, for example. So you can refine that and you can see I've only got 3 pages now, right? So you can use the larger than, equal to, or smaller than sign to also refine details in here. If there's text, you can just say equal to low, right? For example. So just 1 second. Oh. Okay, let's apply the changes and reload everything. And now what we've had is, since I've applied the changes that I wanted, My data has also changed. So we can see that now it's based on the 220 listings out of the 398 that we had on our comp set. And the comp set, well, the original settings of data was based on all the listings, but here it's telling you sort of the difference between when you compare all of the listings and refined comp set that you're looking at. When we think about how are we sort of calculating that data for a given month, we do consider the Airbnb listings that are active more than 75% of last year's dates and that have fewer than 50% of the days blocked by the owner, because we want to actually have reservation data in these blocked dates, right? And yeah, as I said before in the beginning of the call, the estimate does come from Airbnb's sort of displayed nightly rates. So bear in mind that as with all of this data that we take, similar to the neighborhood data and the dynamic pricing, we look at the Airbnb's displayed nightly rates, which exclude taxes, they exclude cleaning fees or any sort of local taxes and additional charges. However, there are always sometimes some hosts who do include everything together. They bulk together some sort of base nightly rates with some sort of a tax as well. So these, of course, are one-off scenarios that we can't really control. But yeah, once you have all of this data, you are able to download it in a PDF file. So you can use the download button here. And oh yeah, one thing I forgot to tell you, you can also, if you want to make it fancier, you can also upload your logo on PriceLabs. So if you have a logo, you can go to your settings page, upload your logo, and when you download this PDF, essentially, it will download with your logo on there. So you can straight away send it and present it to whoever you need to present it to, right? So you have these options on here. So it's super easy to create. Once you've sort of created your estimates, please remember that you can always go back to them and view them from the Estimator Pro page on here. They will all stay here. If anything has expired, you just need to click on Show Expired Estimates. But again, you won't be able to change anything on this apart from its name, and it will not refresh once it's been created. Like, that will be the final data that you'll be able to see. If you need to create anything else, again, just if you need to view it again, just create a new estimate. I wanted to show you the subscription. Okay, here we are. So you can choose your plan from here. Again, as I mentioned, we do have yearly plans that you can use, or you can opt in for a monthly plan. However, again, if you do have a listing that's been imported on PriceLabs, just go ahead and try the free tokens that we've given you. Okay, so in the beginning, it will say token before you've used the token, but once you've used that token, we'll just rename it to an estimate, right? Because it's already been converted into an estimate. And as I said in the beginning, we also do have a free version of this. It doesn't allow you to refine as much as this one does, but if you do go to hello.pricelabs.co, if you go to the resources page and see and click on Revenue Estimator, you'll sort of be able to get a light version of what we're showing here. So Phil, I think that was the quick introduction to Revenue Estimator Pro. You know, it's designed to really save you time. You can see I do have a little bit of a problem with my browser or internet today, I'm not sure, but some of the other ones that maybe are in a little bit more of a remote area. For example, this one here, 5-bedroom house, it was, well, I didn't really have many things to compare against, so it happened straight away. This one has a lot more listings in it in London, so that's why it took a little bit longer. But again, it should take around a minute to create this estimate.
Okay, so there you have it. I hope you found that useful. I hope you can see how amazing that software could be. Feel free to try it out. If you're a PriceLabs subscriber or user already, then you do have some free tickets to try it on your own. They come for nothing. However, if not, it's a very competitively priced system, so I think it's worthwhile giving it a shot. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. And again, don't forget to like and subscribe if you found this useful.